transport system and the issues around it. And just before we went on break, the president of the Bonny Graduates Forum, Mr. Jude was talking about the Niger Delta Development Commission, which statutorily receives 3% of the profits of all multinationals within the Niger Delta region. So coming back to you, Mr. President, for a community that gives so much to Nigeria through the Nddc and through other avenues, you think Bonny is getting what is requisite, what is commensurate?
Exactly. We have been seen to be a very peaceful community, and that has been taken for granted for a very long time. And this necessitated our move to meet with Chief Tonye the Rivers State Rep of Niger Delta Development Commission, January 23rd. And Bonny Graduates Forum presented a very comprehensive proposal to him. Part of the things we mentioned was this marine transport, road network, and also on the development in Bonny. And we expect that Nddc's should see Bonny as, of course, Mr. Tonye admitted that a lot have been received from us, but nothing has been given to us. So he also promised that they're going to look at that. That promise is very waiting. We only are the present that there are street lights being installed in one community, Fidima community, that to work on, but more needs to be done. Not when we say more needs to be done compared to what has been received from Bonny Kingdom. So a lot is expected of Nddc, and we hope that they don't have to wait for us to explore other avenue for them to hear us. Since we've met them, this interview also, we believe, is another avenue for them to also hear that we need their attention as soon as possible. So Bonny have given so much. We need the intervention of this government agency. It's not just Nddc, the Nigeria Port Authorities also. The Bonny River Channel is being used by Nigeria Port Authorities. We know what NPA generates on daily basis from our river, our channels. So if we are calling on Nddc, we're also calling on what's it called, NPA. We need to benefit from these government agencies. So this is a wake-up call. We hope that they will listen to us. If they don't listen to us, like I said, we are going to explore other avenues to see that they listen to us.
Okay, now talking about the intervention of government agencies, they say all politics is local. And talking about marine transport, as much as it is controlled by the federal and state governments, it is directly impacting the people in the local areas who are governed by the local government administration. Now, given that the chairman of the local governments across the 774 local governments, take an oath of allegiance to the Constitution and an oath of responsibility, for the safety and security of lives and properties of citizens within that local area. And with all that is being said about the recalcitrance, about the drama of the Bonny Marine Transport Association, in your opinion, do you think it's time for the chairman of the Bonny local government to wield the big stick?
Well, I found out when people make this Bonny Maritime Transport Association looks like they are not, nobody can supervise them, or nobody can look at their operations. The Bonny local government chairman at different occasions have shown that she has the capacity to, administer governance in Bonny. I think this one should be an exception. That's why I started by saying that if there is a supervisory council, say we have a supervisor supervising this very distinct from the government perspective, that's for the government angle, I expect that fellow needs to be sacked immediately. Then the local government chairman needs to step in. It's not just stepping in, it's a complete overhaul of the system. She needs to step in to protect the lives and property of her citizens. So she has shown this thing that she can do it. So I expect that she has to take this very concern serious. It's not because an incident happened yesterday that we are now all screaming. Past governments have also neglected this, but I think this one should be a wake-up call. She has to step in. She has to hold these people responsible. She has to push very hard to see that these things are, managed in a way that everybody will benefit out of it and know that actually something could have happened.
Okay, we are actually constrained with time, but let me come to you. Yesterday, obviously, in the course of the outpouring of grief, some people were making all kind of posts on social media, and we saw what I would call the politicization of tragedy. Do you think that was necessary in the given circumstance?
Well, absolutely not necessary. Before you do anything as a human being, it's crucial that you first ask yourself, if somebody else does it to you, how would you feel? So if you lost someone in that tragedy, and then you go on Facebook and you read things that are written there, even if seemingly in sympathy with you, if those things are not well arranged, you feel very terrible. So the same way you feel, you won't want other people to feel that way. For our brothers and sisters who go on social media to politicize every event, the advice is just put the finger back to yourself. If that was done to you, how would you feel? And then again, some of the politicization of certain tragedy happens because there is not much information. Some people are not well informed. Take an example. There's a question you asked earlier. What is BGF doing? What is BYF doing? And we were able to explain to the extent that we have done. And to the extent that we cannot do, because we are limited by certain, the constitution that even creates us. You understand? So when people don't understand these things, they go online and create all manner of false impression, and then others pick it up and go with it. And of course, these days when social media, even you who is saying something constructively, you are taken to be among those who are oppressing the people. When you speak, they will say you are just speaking English. So I think we should all look at ourselves and be sincere with ourselves. If you lost somebody in that river tragedy, you won't like the politicization of it. And then again, to talk of those who, for instance, the organizations or institutions that maybe people talk about and say, what have you done, what have you not done? It is to be a little fair to those who, in quote, politicize these things. It is born out of a limited amount of information that is out there. And that's why you have press statements, that's why you have press briefings, and press units. I'm talking in aspects of maybe BMTA, for instance. I'm sure BMTA, if you look at their structure, there's somebody there who's supposed to speak to people. So there's somebody there who's supposed to be in charge of safety. So sometimes when blames come in that direction, maybe somebody says BMT is useless and all of that. If you look at it a little bit deeply, you will find that there has been some negligence of some sort. So we will not totally blame people, because again, people react to shock differently. The way I react is different from the way you react. And so if somebody politicizes certain things, not to say they are doing the right thing, but that's their way of reacting to shock. But they have to learn over time to try to calm down and not react in that negative direction.
Okay, before we round up, Mr. President, there's been this talk around town for some time now that the LLNG appear to be heavily constrained with the high volume of community requests to use their boats and that how about the multinationals, the NLNG, Shell, Mobil, Total, Belema Oil, and the rest of them putting some funds together to assist the community, have its own, maybe like catamarans too, like the NLNG is running, and just like we had in Kyomo some years back, and be able to run to and fro, and probably the Navy come in and the master provide them the escort for all of this. Is this a position you think should hold water?
I think in the wisdom of His Majesty, he created a committee that is supposed to oversee things like this, the Monetary Development Committee. The responsibility of that committee, I think, falls within what you just mentioned. If we have a concern, the BKDC should champion that concern. And I can remember sometimes late last year, the BKDC, the Bonny-Bodo Forum received a letter from BKDC frowning at the counterpart fund that are normally released when it comes to the 27 and project that's supposed to be going concurrently. And when we all strayed into action, we knew what the result was. So I think the BKDC should champion this thing. We don't expect that the Bonny Youth Federation should run to Belema Oil, the BGF should run to Belema Oil, or everybody should run to Belema Oil to say the same thing. The BKDC should be able to coordinate this whole thing and come up with a formidable solution to some of our problems. There should be sincerity of administration. It's where there is no sincerity, people don't believe that, okay, we can help in any situation at all. So the BKDC should step up, the BKDC should take responsibility. I've not really felt their impact. Personally, I've not felt the impact. So I think they should take responsibility to meet this organization. If NLNG is complaining that they've been overpressured or something like that, I think, like you rightly said, there are other organizations within the kingdom, and these things, I don't think they are rocket science, they are no problem that they cannot solve. If they can comfortably go to communities that have zero concern when it comes to the pipelines and also the operational base of any design and execute projects, why can't they do something for Bonny?
Okay, thank you very much. We're actually out of time. So, but we need to say that some of these issues have been properly hammered by both the Bonny Graduates Forum and the Bonny Youth Federation. This that it's time for the local government chairman of Bonny LGA to step up and take responsibility for what's happening within her LGA. No organization, no institution, no body, no association should go to ransom the safety, the well-being of the people within area of jurisdiction. And then all stakeholders need to also, come together and act, in that trajectory of care. Safety regulations needs to be adhered to by the operators of the marine system, and then the federal government, the state government, the Nddc'S, and all the multinationals. You're listening, and then your action points. I'm sure you are taking notes, and we want to begin to see, positive outcomes in different directions. Because at the end of the day, Bonny lives matter. Thank you very much. Until we see you again.
Thank you.
Thank you.